President Trump's strategy of using high tariffs, working to bring China to the table, worked?
So the bottom line is that the United States position is that our trade with China has not been fair. And the President Trump wants to correct that. And I think he will succeed, at least in part, in getting a somewhat better trade deal with China. And China will be okay with that. I think our colleague from Beijing was very, very candid in terms of the two different political systems and who can withstand the pressure better. China can withstand the pressure better because they don't have to worry about things like elections. In the United States, political pressure is going to play a very important effect in all of this because there are elections and Congress gets elected every 2 years. The president has to pay attention to this, which is why I remain optimistic that the relationship with China on trade will be resolved, not in a matter of months or years, but in a matter of weeks.
But the question was, how can China balance the economic necessity of ending trade with political need to appear strong? That was my question to Mr. Cook, and he said he spoke about the domestic side, and he also spoke about the international arena. This is why I asked you to tell me what do you think or what you have on that. And
go ahead, Ben.
Yes, and he spoke about the U.S. Being satisfied of what China produce. So what do you have on that?
Who are we asking?
Of course, you, Mr. Tanous, again. I'm still.
Yeah, he's absolutely. First of all, China makes items of high quality, and also a bunch of stuff like rare earths that we need and want. All of this to trade having to be resolved quickly, and it will. The other reason for doing this is that while this stalemate continues, China is forging relationships, new relationships with neighbors in Asia, with South America, with the EU, and these relationships, once in place, may not unravel very easily. Another reason why this trade issue with China has to be resolved quickly. China will not come out looking badly from this. They will come out having achieved what they want to achieve. The United States will as well, with a better trade deal.
Wait, Mr. Cook, what kind of economic concessions, if any, is China prepared to offer without undermining the broader strategic interests?
I would guess China may open some markets or lift some non-tariff restrictions. Those markets or those non-tariff restrictions may not be sensitive, and that may not be those markets or those policies may not be the I would say may not favor the U.S. or the Western companies. For example, like the liquor or Chinese style liquor, for example, and I would say China would make some concessions, but those concessions may not be really practical. But at least it would show its actions, because what China knows the U.S. United States want is the so-called the free market or the freedom of speech, and those markets or those policies are the very strict red lines that Beijing would not allow to do so. So I would say, as I have said in the beginning, that is China is always buying the time, just always delaying the discussion or delaying the negotiations as long as it can, so that trying to I would say to dilute the issue and to try to persuade the American consumers or the global consumers and the third parties that the tariff war is no good for the global economy, and the U.S. start the tariff, and please point finger to the United States rather than China.
Well, Mr. Tanous, do you think a third-party mediator would help the U.S. reach a better trade agreement with China?
I doubt it. I think the Chinese and the Americans are perfectly capable of doing this on their own. I don't think they need any outside help in doing it. I think you just got an explanation from our friend in China of the concessions that will be necessary and that China's willing to make. Where I disagree is I don't think China will want to delay this indefinitely. I think both sides are eager to come to a resolution quickly.
Now, Mr. Cook, what do you think, or how would Beijing define a victory in the trade war that can be publicly claimed without making significant compromises from the Chinese point of view?
Okay, as I have said, just the last question, that is, okay, China is lifting some non-tariff restrictions or open some markets, and China would portray it that is, okay, we are sending friendly message in the United States, and China is willing to talk and cooperate with the United States to settle all the disputes with a friendly way, with showing the hands, the Washington, rather than Donald Trump is behaving very, very badly, always having the strict policies against the Beijing. First, it is the first, and the second, and the state media was said, okay, Xi Jinping is making the order to ordering the officials to work hard on improving economy, and whatever it is, what the state media has been good at for many years. So I would say for the rhetoric, China is very good at making the rhetorics and declaring any victory, but if you look at the inside, and I would doubt, because it is not really easy for China to make really real concessions, because it would really hurt the red line, and it would really, not just the red line, and it would really hurt the so-called state interests, because those interests are related to the state-owned enterprises, and those are related to the state control of the capital and also the resources, and it would hurt the legitimacy of the Communist Party.